Welcome to my channel Tech Easy Learning. Today we are going to see what is schema on write and schema on read. I think you might have come across these things. Anyway, I'm going to explain you. Schema on write and schema on read are two ways to store the data, and they differ in when the schema is applied. Schema on write is the traditional approach, while schema on read is more modern, particularly for big data analysis. That is, schema on write is mainly for data warehousing purpose. Okay. First, here data is collected, that means extracted, and schema should be already available. That is, in RDBMS, we will create the database and table structure by analyzing the incoming data. That should be available already. So that on the schema, that means on the tables, the data is loaded. That is, data is written. And then after loading the data, we will analyze the data. That means the business users will analyze the data. Schema on read means the data is extracted and loaded. After that, the schema is updated and then analysis will be done. We will see it now elaborately. Okay. First step to working with relational database is to create the tables and configure the schemas. Once we have configured the schemas and created the tables, we can begin to ingest the data. That means load the data. And once the data is loaded into the table, we can begin to execute the analytical queries on our table. This is the schema on write. Okay. This approach, we will define the columns, data format, and relationship of columns before the actual data upload. That means all should be readily available. All tables, columns, everything, relationship between the columns, everything should be created and kept in a ready reckoner. And after that, we will load the data. That means before the data load, everything should be available. We can't upload the data until the table is created, and we can't create the table until we understand the schema of the data that will be in this table. So this is the schema on write. What is schema on read? The rise of big data. That means when we started using the Facebook, YouTube, so many in the social media, no? Because of that, the traditional methods is not feasible. That means traditional method we cannot use for this very great data volumes. Okay. Because of that, another approach was born. Here we upload the data as it arrives without any changes or transformations. Okay. There we will do extraction, transformation, and loading. Here we will load and then we will do this transformation. We completely remove the original ETL process. Okay. In this approach, a schema on read. It has a fast data ingestion because data should not follow any schema. It's nothing but copying and moving the files. This type of data handling is more flexible in the case of the big data because we will receive unstructured, semi-structured, and as well as the structured data, and also the frequent schema changes. Okay, the schema is getting changed very often, means we cannot go out with the already created schema. Okay, where the table is already created in the schema on write. We do not need to change the schemas and reload all the data in the data storage. Okay, however, since the data does not go through the ETL and transformation into data storage schemas, there can be lot of missing or invalid data and duplicates. That is the disadvantages of this schema on read. Okay.